Hey guys, this is our today's tutorial and I'm so in love with it. I'm going to be combining this yarn and this yarn. This is beige, this is white, and I'm using a 3.5mm hook. Don't know if you can see that clearly. So let's begin. So this is my measuring tape. My hip measurement is 36 and it's the one we are going to crochet a chain of as long as 36 for our waist area, but this is our hip area. Our skirt is not going to have a zipper on it, so we need it to pass through. That's why. Make a loop. And then make a chain. This is our chain. Continue until it's long enough to stretch to your 36 inches measurements. I'm done with my chain, which is 34 inches before stretch, and on stretch it goes up to 37 inches, but my hip area is 36, so it can stretch all the way up to 37 inches. That is after stretch. It can go all the way to 37, but my hip is 36 to 37. That's what I wear. I needed to leave a bit extra room. But if you're not using a stretchy yarn, I recommend that you make a chain that is exactly that measurement. If you're wearing 37 chain, your chain should be long enough to reach 37 inches to avoid the skirt being tighter, or being, make the right measurement. But if you're using a stretchy yarn, please subtract 2 to 3 inches from your measurements so that you leave room for stretch. Now that I'm done with my chain, I'm going to slip stitch. Make a slip stitch like this, and then make a double crochet all around the chain. Make chain 1, 2, 3. That's going to be like our first double crochet, and then wrap your yarn around your hook and continue with double crochet. For double crochet, you wrap your yarn around the hook, enter into the loop, pull up the yarn, pull through 1, pull through 2. That's our double crochet. So continue making double crochets along the chain. We are working on our waistband. So this is our double crochet. I'm going to meet you when I'm getting close to the end. So I'm at the end with my double crochet. When you're here, make sure you avoid this tangling. Look for the right corner before you slip stitch. So I'm going to come and enter inside the very first loop of our double crochet and slip stitch. So I'm done with the slip stitch, and now you're going to chain 1, 2, 3. After the chain of 3, wrap your yarn around the hook. You're going to do the front and back post stitch. Wrap your yarn, enter in this first double crochet in between, pull up the yarn and double crochet. Then wrap your yarn, go into the back loop, pull up your yarn. Like we are working, this is the front, then wrap, go into the back, pass through the back and pull the yarn and pull through. Wrap your yarn, come into the front of your double crochet, enter in the space, pull the yarn, pull through 1, pull through 2, wrap your yarn, enter in the space from the back, pull your yarn, pull through 1, pull through 2, like that. And again, continue until the end, until the end of the row. It's a front post and back post stitch. If you have no clue about it, you can try to search on it on YouTube. There are so many tutorials about it. I use it for the waist, like that. So I'm going to continue doing mine off camera, then I'll meet you when I reach the end. I'm at the end of the row. And slip stitch, come in the loop and do a slip stitch. I don't want my waist too thick, so I'm going to stop on this row. This is enough for me to use for my waistband. And now I'm going to do a double crochet, I mean a half double crochet along this. So chain 1, 2, turn your work and start working with a double crochet on this row, and with a half double crochet, pardon me. So come in this loop, pull up the yarn, pull through, wrap up your yarn around the hook, go into the next loop, pull through. That's your half double crochet. Wrap your yarn, go into the next loop and pull through. Like that. That's our half double crochet. I'm going to work on mine off camera. I'll meet you at the end. I'm at the end of the row of my half double crochets and last. So after this slip stitch, come in the very first loop and do a slip stitch like that. Then our next row is going to be a bit different from this. So chain 1, 2, 3, turn your work, and then wrap your yarn around the hook, go back into the same loop with a double crochet, chain 1, wrap your yarn, go back into the same loop with double crochet, wrap your yarn and go back into the same loop with a double crochet, like that. Then after that you're going to skip 4 loops and go into the 5th. 1 2 3 4, go into the 5th with a double crochet like that. Wrap your yarn, go back with a double crochet, chain 1 and go back with 2 double crochets like that. Then skip 4 loops, 1 2 3 4, go into the 5th with a double crochet, 2 double crochets, chain 1 and go back with 2 double crochets. I'm going to show you one more and then I'll work the rest of camera. Skip 4 loops, 1 2 3 4, go into the 5th with 2 double crochets, chain 1 and go back with 2 double crochets. So I'm working the rest of camera. I'll meet you here to show you the joining. So I'm getting to the end. 4 5 of my row. So after this I have 1 2 3 4 loops. I'm going to slip stitch at the end of where I started from, my very first double crochet. I'm going to come here, enter my hook and slip stitch like that. And then after that you're going to slip stitch in this loop, the next loop, and enter in the middle loop, slip stitch, and then chain 1 2 3. This is going to be your first double crochet. Then do the second double crochet, chain 1 and go back with 2 double crochets, and then continue working with 2 double crochets, chain 1 2 double crochets in each center loop. This, chain 1, go back with 2 double crochets, and then continue doing the same, and then I'll show you when I reach the end of this row like that. I'm at the end of this row. We're going to repeat the same thing. Come on this first double crochet and slip stitch, and then slip stitch in the second double crochet too, and then slip stitch in the center like that, and then chain 1 2 3, and continue doing the same thing like we did before, like that. Chain 1 and go back, like that. I'm going to do 8 rows of this color, and then I'll join the other white. So I'll be showing you how to join, but then after that I will have 12 rows of beige and white, 6 beige, 6 white. Then I will switch to a different style of crocheting, so pay attention. I'm at the end of my 6th row of this. I'm going to come here on the last loop and slip stitch, chain 1, and then cut off the yarn like that. So we are going to add white on this piece. When you're adding white, you can decide to start from here or anywhere. So maybe let me change and start from around here, probably. Yeah, I'm going to start from around here with my white. You can start from anywhere of these loops. So we're going to continue with the same pattern, but we're going to continue with the same stitch but with white yarn. So make a loop, make a loop, this one here, come anywhere of these. We're working from the right side. This is our wrong side, this is our right side. So fix your hook anywhere and put your yarn and pull through, and then chain 1, 2, 3. This is going to be our first double crochet. Wrap your yarn around the hook, go back with the second double crochet, chain 1, and go back with 2 more double crochets, just like what we've been doing, and then continue the same thing. So that's how I add my new color, like that. I'm going to do 12 rows of these in white, and then I'll meet you there when I have a total of 12 of this part of this stitch. I'm done with my rows of white. I'm going to join here and slip stitch here, slip stitch and chain 1, and cut off the yarn like that. So we are back to our beige color. Make a loop, this is my loop. Start from wherever you want. It could be here, it could be here, anywhere. So I'm just going to start from here, but this time around it's going to change. We are just not going to do that. We are going to try and now make our skirt wider. So after making the loop, come into this loop next to the center, this one, the one next to the center. Enter your hook, pull up the yarn, make a chain 3. This is our double crochet, and then wrap your yarn, go in the center, make 2 double crochets like that, chain 1, go back with 2 double crochets, and then wrap your yarn, go into this loop, the next loop from the center, and put a double crochet. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's our next step. Then go to the next, skip this middle loop, go into the next, this one next to the center, put a double crochet, then enter in the middle with 2 double crochets, like that. Chain 1, go back with 2 double crochets, then go into the next with a double crochet, like that. This is now how our next pattern is going to look like, because we want a bit of a wave in our skirt. Then skip this, go into this with a double crochet, then go in the middle with 2 double crochets, chain 1, go back with 2 double crochets, then put a double crochet into the next loop, like that. Ignore how it is, just focus on the stitch. Skip this, go into this with a double crochet, go in the center with 2 double crochet, chain 1, go back with 2 double crochets, then go into the next loop with double crochet, like that. So I'm going to work the rest of camera. I'll meet you at the end of the row. I've reached the end of this row. Then come here and slip stitch, like that. Slip stitch into the next, like come here, put a double crochet. I don't know if it's clear. Put a chain 3, which is going to act like our first double crochet. Then after that, chain 1 to make a total of 4. Wrap up your yarn, go into the next with a double crochet, then chain 1, go into the space with 2 double crochets, with a double crochet, then chain 1, go back with another double crochet, like that. So now we are going to change the technique. Instead of chain 1, we are going to do chain 2. After the chain 2, wrap your yarn, go back, pull up your yarn and make a double crochet, then chain 1, go back with a double crochet, then chain 1, come do a double crochet, chain 1, do another double crochet, like that. More like the chevron stitch if you're familiar with it. Then wrap your yarn, skip this space, go into the next, this one, skip this, go in this with a double crochet, but don't chain any space here. We are adding a pinch of a chevron stitch, then chain 1 and put another double crochet into the next loop, chain 1, go into the space with a double crochet, chain 1, go back with another double crochet, chain 2, wrap your yarn, go back with a double crochet in the space, chain 1, go back with a double crochet into the space, chain 1, go into the loop, the next loop with a double crochet, chain 1, go into the next with a double crochet. So all you have to know now, the format is like the chevron stitch. Make a double crochet, then chain 1, double crochet, then chain 1, go into the loop space, put a double crochet and chain 1, put back another double crochet, then chain 2. Now our center loop is spaced with a chain 2 instead of 1. Then repeat the same thing, 2 double crochet inside with a chain space in the middle, then chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, because I want it to make the wave. So I'm going to show you the next 2, then I'll work off camera. Wrap your yarn, don't make any chain space, skip this loop, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, wrap your yarn around the hook, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, go into the space with a double crochet, chain 1, go back with another double crochet, chain 2, wrap your yarn, go back with a double crochet, chain 1, go back with a double crochet in the same loop to make a total of 4 in one loop, then chain 1, go into the next loop with a double crochet, chain 1, go in the next loop with a double crochet, like that. Then I'm showing you this last one, then I'll work off camera. Wrap your yarn, don't make any chain space, skip this loop, go into the next with a double crochet, then chain 1, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, go back into the same space with a double crochet, chain 2, go back into the same space with a double crochet, chain 1, go back with a double crochet, then chain 1, go in the next loop now with a double crochet, chain 1, go into the next with a double crochet, like that. So I'm going to do the rest off camera. I'll meet you when I've reached the end here. So I have reached the end of this row of the chevron stitch. Chain 1, chain 2, chain 1, chain 1, like that. Then here we're going to do a slip stitch on the third loop from below, like 1, 2, 3, because we started with a chain 3 to act like our first double crochet. So come in the third loop and put a slip stitch like that. So we are going to continue with another row of chevron stitch, slip stitch in the center, of your chain 1 space. Don't turn your work. We are not turning our work, we are working from the same side. Then chain 3, that's going to be your first double crochet. Then chain 1 to act like your chain 1 space. Wrap up your yarn around the hook, go into the next space with a double crochet. Then chain 1, go into the next space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go in the center space with a double crochet. We are going to continue doing the same 2 double crochets, chain 2, like that. So this double crochet, then chain 1, go back with another double crochet, then chain 2, wrap your yarn, go back with a double crochet in the same space, chain 1, and go back in the same space with a double crochet, like that. Then continue with chain 1, go in the space, the next space, with a double crochet. Chain 1, go in the next space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go in the next space with a double crochet, like that. So when you're done reaching here, you're going to wrap your yarn. Don't chain any space or what. Skip this center loop, this middle space, if you remember it, this one. Skip it, go into the next with a double crochet without chaining space. Then chain 1 this time round. Wrap your yarn, go into the next space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go into the next space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go into the center space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go back with another double crochet. Chain 2, go back into the same space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go back with another double crochet. The chain space is to highlight our center. Then after that, chain 1 and continue now in the next space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go in the next space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go into the next space with a double crochet. So from the center we have 3 more double crochets with a chain 1 space. Then after here we're not chaining any space or chain 1 or what. You're just going to wrap your yarn around the hook, skip this center space and go into the next with a double crochet. Chain 1, go into the next space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go into the next space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go in the center space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go back with another double crochet. Chain 2 and go back with a double crochet in the same space. Chain 1, go back with a double crochet. Then chain 1, go in now the next space with a double crochet. Chain 1, go into the next with a double crochet. Chain 1 and go in the next with a double crochet. So it continues like this until we meet again at the end. So I'm going to work mine off camera, then I'll meet you at the end. I've reached the end of the row. So when you're here, just come in this very last third loop of the first chain 3 that we did and slip stitch like that. Then again chain 1, slip stitch in the center, and then continue the same thing, 2, 3, then 4. The fourth is to act like our first chain 1, wrap your yarn, go into the next space with a double crochet. I'm going to do the rest off camera, and then I'll show you what to do after that. So just to say, it will continue making an increase all the time. Like this time around, we had 3 double crochets before we entered in the center with 2 double crochets. Now we have 4. It will keep increasing to 5, 6, so that we have our waves come out really perfect. I love the progress so far. I apologize, I've run out of beige yarn, and right now we are in a lockdown, so accessing yarn is hard. So I was supposed to have 6 rows of beige, but now I have only 5, which is still fine. You can do 6 if you have enough yarn. You can do more. It's all good. So let's go on our next step of this piece. So this is the good side of our crochet piece, if you can notice, and this is the other side. And now we are going to continue with this pattern, but from below, from inside, so that we leave this out. So make a loop, make a loop. This is the outside of your piece. Come inside, enter your hook from here. I don't know if you can see, this is how it looks. So enter your hook from here and enter it through the loop that you've created, and then chain 3, wrap your yarn, go back with a double crochet, chain 1, wrap your yarn, go back in the same loop with 2 double crochets like we were doing before. This pattern, this stitch then start from anywhere really, then wrap your yarn, go into the next loop, enter, like we are working from the inside, and we are using these loops of this shade, the white. Put a double crochet, then wrap your yarn, go back with another double crochet, chain 1, and go back with a double crochet. Like that. Then wrap your yarn, go into the next. This is the next. Enter in the loop, this loop, make a double crochet, wrap your yarn, go back with another double crochet, chain 1, wrap your yarn, go back with another double crochet. Like that. I'm going to show you 2 more, and then I'll do the rest of camera. Wrap your yarn, go into this next. We are working from the inside, so wrap your yarn, go in this, and another double crochet, chain 1, and then go back with a another double crochet, and another, like that. Then I'm going to show you one more, and then I'll do off camera. Wrap your yarn, go into the next this row, enter, make a double crochet and another double crochet, chain one and another double crochet and another. So from the inside it looks like this. We are going to continue with this. So from the outside you can't see it really, so I'm going to show you the end of this row, and then after I will do the rest of camera to the length of my choice. So I'm at the end and I'm going to do a slip stitch from here, like 1 2 3, enter my hook here and do a slip stitch. As you remember how we're doing it here, after the slip stitch in the next loop, and then slip stitch in the center, and then chain 3, then put another double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet, and then continue doing the same thing. So like that. We are repeating the same stitch that we did here. So but this one is in the inside, like you can see, inside, or like this. So I'm going to do the rest off camera. And then I'll meet you with my final piece. I'm going to do 12 more rows to make a total of 14. If you want it longer, make it longer, but I want mine short, so I'm going to do like 12 more rows or 16 more rows to a total of 18 from here, counting from here. So I'm going to do 16 more rows to make a total of 18. Then I'll meet you with my final piece. I'm done with our skirt. As you can see, it's really gorgeous. These are 18 rows, but if you want, you can do more. I want mine really short, so that's why I did only 18 rows. But another thing is I'm running out of yarn. As you can see, I only have this left, and I have to put a string to pass through our waistband.